outwon this son of a bitch. It was good. It was really good, you know.
200 race cars on the nose in the pit area, and they are getting ready for battle here today.
This is what it's all about. This is what the sport is all about.
To have this kind of atmosphere with late model racing is just truly incredible.
The atmosphere and the moments, they make it worth it. You're damn right the dome is hard, but you're damn right it's worth it too.
You know, I was giving it all like Tyler did last night. You know, we was racing everybody clean, and we just putting a show on for the fans.
This is the great equalizer. This racetrack, this venue.
Look at it, we're at the dome. Car look nice, looks like now, but guess what? We're gonna take this thing to the front. I hope I put a show on for you guys. That's what I came here to do. You know, we're in a race. Let's get it on. We're gonna drink some beer later.
All you internet keyboard warriors, beat the buttons, baby. I took him off. Woo! That's what this is all about. If you don't have no hype, you ain't got no race. I earned the heart. Adrian, we did it!
And I'm gonna say it again. This thing is not going anywhere.
Harder to believe, but it has been 710 days since the last Gateway Dirt Nationals, and what a whirlwind it has been. A global pandemic. Kyle Larson taking the motorsports world by storm. And oh, by the way, I've officially have taken Michael Rigsby's job duties. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Rigsby's on his way back from Nashville. I'm Derek Kessinger, and you are looking live from inside the Dome of America's Center in St. Louis, Missouri, and we have finally made it to the 5th edition of the Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. And boy, to say the least, we are pumped up. Throw up that graphic. I am stoked. 3 nights of racing, 3 different classes. Of course, the late models are the headliner. Sorry, modifieds and midgets. Just kidding. All in December in a dome where you can watch every lap live at FloRacing starting tomorrow through Saturday. Let's get this party started. We got Cody Summer joining me here in a bit. We got special guests throughout the entire night. You are in for a real treat. If you're watching on Facebook, please give us the like button. Share, share, share. We want to go global with this. I mean, I'm hosting. Come on, let's get this thing going. So without further ado, let's kick off with the voices of Dirt in December. No, it's not Chris Collinsworth and Joe Buck, or I guess Al Michaels. It is Ben Shelton and Dustin Jarrett, who arguably have the best seat in the house. And guys, we had some breaking news here earlier today. Let's take it away.
Yeah, we did have breaking news today. And first and foremost, are you Joe Buck? Am I Joe Buck? Are you Troy Aikman? Who's who here?
I was having a hard time following. Like Derek script up there. It was very teleprompter-ish the way he was reading that off.
Even kill. It's a long week. You got to pace yourself. As you
That's
know as
right.
well as anybody, you can lose your voice in a hurry at this thing.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I tell you what, Dustin, we just heard Derek Kessinger reference to us breaking news today, and yeah, as if it was not enough to win $30,000 on Saturday night, the driver who wins on Saturday night in the super late model division, you also get a NASCAR Camping World Truck Series ride at Knoxville next year, Nice Motorsports, and you're going to get a chance at that. So that's something that just broke today, and I'll be honest, I was grabbing lunch around the corner, and it pops up on my screen. I had no idea. Did you hang out? Did you hold out on me? Did you have any idea about it?
I had zero idea. I thought maybe you were holding out on me. Kimberly and I, we were waiting for our flight in Columbus, and it popped up on my screen on social media, and I was like, wow, that's kind of cool. And, you know, I think Cody Summer kind of said it best, man, in that article where, again, it mentions the winner of the Gateway Dirt Nationals, the late model portion, gets a ride at the Knoxville
You can do it.
Yes, I can do it. The Knoxville Camping World Truck Series race. Thank you, with Nice Motorsports. What if someone like a Tyler Carpenter gets that win? Could you imagine Tyler Carpenter on a truck ride? That would be awesome.
NASCAR,
man.
Get ready.
That's
I
right.
always say you need more personalities over there. Well, we're sending you some personality of Tyler Carpenter. But hey, jokes aside, it is something very cool. And that team has won races in the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series. It's not like it's a start and park team. So this is a good ride for somebody who will give that a shot. But again, that's just part of the note. You see everybody watching at home on the Jumbotron. Kevin Gundaker and his staff out working the racetrack. Kevin told me today, obviously the event's about 3 weeks earlier than it was last year. He mentioned to me, this is the best condition this dirt has ever come into this building. Usually it's rain. There's been years where there's been 8 inches of snow on it. He said it's dry. I've been able to get better compaction. I feel better about it. Now, with that said, people are sitting at home and they're going, I bet it's still going to be rough. Hell yeah, it's going to be rough. They built a racetrack in a week in a dome. It's going to get rough. There's no two ways about that.
There's concrete underneath of
right.
it. The water has nowhere to go but to the concrete. There's a lot of factors that go into this.
There's racetracks that have been around for 90 years. They get rough. It happens, but he did feel good about it. And you see he and his wife Tammy down there in the infield. We're going to be talking to Kevin Gundaker in a little bit. And I tell you what, Dustin, we weren't here last year, man, but to be back, when you walk into this box, I think some of the dirt from 2 years ago might have still been in this box. Describe to everybody at home what the feeling is like when you walk into this building. I don't care if it's the first time or the 5th time.
Well, it's really interesting because as my wife and I were walking in here earlier, it's almost surreal that you walk into this place that used to have a football stadium basically behind of us. There was an entire 100-yard football field. And there's a racetrack there now. And I don't know, the thing that always stands out to me as I walk in here, we hear everybody talk about the size of this place and how it's small and everything else. I walk in here and I look back behind me and I'm like, it's actually a decent sized place.
Yeah.
I mean, it is very Macon-ish, maybe a Wayne County, Illinois-ish sized place. It's bigger than I think a lot of people really realize, and to walk in here and see it, it's just surreal. I mean, again, to think that we're indoors in St. Louis. Now, we've been here before, Ben, when there's been snow outside.
That's right.
We saw the first year here, haulers come in with snow to load the cars back up. Not going to have to worry about that this year. Record high temperatures of 70+ degrees the next 2 days. It's a shame this thing doesn't have a retractable roof.
If it did, it would be a guaranteed snow, rain, tornado, hurricane here. But no, it is. And I tell you what, if you're watching at home and you're on the fence on whether or not to come, haulers have been pulling in all day. 3 nights of racing. That's the one thing that I think is big. And, 3 different divisions. You got the midgets, the mods, and the super late models. And obviously, the late model world has been very good to you and myself, but we're race fans at heart. We love everything, and that's one of my favorite things about this event is the fact that we have these 3 totally different divisions, and we put them all under one roof.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that you and I are late model fans is one thing, but you know what? The modifieds and the midgets put on a spectacular show here year after year as well. You go down and look through the drivers that are entered for the modified portion of this race. That's a who's who of modified drivers, man. There's 48 or 50 really, really solid modified guys here. And I'm going to say that there's 20 to 24, 25 or more with a legitimate chance to win as well. So don't sleep on the modified guys. In the midgets, man, they've thrown all kinds of curveballs at us here just over the course of the last couple weeks or so. Guys in rides, out of rides, guys maybe that weren't able to make it due to plans, guys that have jumped into the last minute. I think some folks might be surprised at the midget rides that are here. Not just the guys and what cars are in, but maybe even some of the names that are going to show up in the midgets as well.
Yeah, there's some drivers as late as today that were having an interest in trying to get into the field. So there's some things, we'll talk about that more. Well, as we continue here at the 5th annual Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Of course, Dustin, you and I are up top, and we're going to have Blake Anderson and Trenton Berry down pit side in the infield all weekend. Chet Christner is going to be back in the pits with some new technology that we've got. We're going to have pit interviews for the first time ever. But tonight, Blake Anderson, I think he had a celebrity appearance somewhere, so he's not able to make it.
Blake at TonyStewartRacing.com.
Blake at TonyStewart.com. Send him an email. And right now, though, we have got Trenton Berry and Chet Christner. They're down trackside, and they're getting a view of this 5th mile oval. So we're moments away from the opening day of this event.
Yeah, guys, and we'll take it down here trackside while Blake wraps up that highly anticipated autograph session. Chet Christner with me here as well. Chet, glad to have you on the broadcast crew as well. Kind of add a little bit of a new flair to the Gateway Dirt Nationals here. You're going to take care of some of the pit interviews and some of that stuff. Some new technology being incorporated in, and it's going to be pretty cool.
It's going to be very cool, as a matter of fact. And those of you that were watching online right now just saw the pit area back there. That's only a small portion of the pit area. I didn't understand that whenever I came here as a race fan, but the pit area actually extends back, goes in an L shape. and is huge back there. And all the haulers coming in, all the cars, and just a tremendous, tremendous atmosphere to be found out here.
You know, Ben and Dustin talked about a year off, and I'll just kind of echo some of what they said, and just thrilled to be back. You know, you kind of wonder all along, and I have people that ask me, and I'm sure you do too throughout the course of the season, hey, what's happening with the Dome? You know, and it's obviously the Gateway Dirt Nationals, but the Dome, you know, that's what everybody refers to it as. And I said, man, I don't know. I haven't heard, and it wasn't until we got along here a little bit we figured out that we were going to be able to have it, and unfortunately we weren't last year. So, man, I'm just so thrilled to be back. This place is so big. When you stand right here at the base of the facility, right on the concrete floor, it's an immaculate structure, and it's really impressive that we're going to put dirt cars on it again.
And again, that's something else coming into this. I sat up in the stands as a fan, but I've never really been down on the racing surface itself, and it is much larger than you actually realize whenever you're sitting up in the stands. It doesn't translate well to the camera. It doesn't translate well to sitting in the stands, but it's a big track. It's a wide track. It also is a little bit different this year, I believe, and one of the things that I wanted to point out, because it was a question that was often asking me, why don't they make the track bigger in the Dome? A lot of it is insurance reasons, so you have to allow that space around the outside for the staging area. You have to allow space for the ambulances and the wrecking trucks and everything else, and so they have it as big as it can, but I believe just a little bit different shape this year, and I think she's going to be a good show.
And I'll be excited here in just a little bit. We'll get a chance to talk to Kevin Gundaker and kind of get the lay of the land here, so to speak. It's always one of the most highly anticipated questions. Hey, what is happening with that racetrack? So we'll talk to the guy that was in charge of building it. I always enjoy doing that interview, and you know, you talk about the facility here where we're at. Ben and Dustin, they're 4 stories above where we're at right now, which is insane to me. And to the roof of the building is 6 stories tall. So boy, this place is going to be rocking and rolling. I'm so excited to add that Thursday racing in to get late models on the racetrack in competitive action on Thursday night. I think that's going to add so much to the event. And the modifieds and the midgets, man, what a great combination of cars.
It is a great combination of cars and a great combination of drivers. You alluded to the fact we're going to have a guest coming on here a little bit later on, I believe, DJ and Ben. I said Bust in there. Good grief. I was thinking of Blake, and I was like, man, I'm filling in for Blake. Had a lot of
Blake
buzz.
signing on.
I had a lot of buzz going on there. But have a special guest coming in a little bit later on, a triple duty racer here this weekend.
Yeah, that's going to be wild to see about that. He's actually down here trackside with us as we speak, waiting his turn to come on. We'll just wrap with this. Hit me with one of your favorite moments from past Gateway action before we send it back.
That's an easy question. It was the very first year, 2016, the Friday night feature event. Everybody said the Dome was going to fail. The Dome's going to fail. I came out here. I was sitting in the stands. Shannon Babb wins. It's 3 wide. It's slide jobs. It's everything else. And that was an epic race that really set the tone for the Dome.
Boy, and it really showed that the Dome was here and it was going to be a force and that it was going to matter for a long time in American motorsports. Not just dirt racing, but American motorsports. I think what's so neat about this weekend, Chet, we get to own the weekend here for motorsports, and that's really cool. You know, with everything that goes on across the country, we don't get that in dirt racing very often to own the week. Well, this is our weekend. It's our chance to shine. It's the best drivers that we can put in here to race, and it's so cool, man. I'm glad to have you along this weekend.
Well, thank you so much. It's good to be along. I appreciate it, and looking forward to being back in the pit area and looking forward to seeing Blake back out here holding this mic.
There you go. That's Chet Christner and myself, Trenton Berry, the way we see it down here right now. D. Suave, we'll send it back up top to you, buddy.
And no doubt about it, Chet. A, I love the hat. You look phenomenal. You look sporty down there. And B, 2016, Shannon Babb blowing the roof off of this place. He had the whole stadium chanting, Babb, Babb, Babb. That was phenomenal racing. It was go-kart racing. You had guys like Darrell Lanigan, who I never see smile at the racetrack, grinning from ear to ear. Well, it's that time again. It's our first commercial breaks. We'll be with you. We'll be right back with you for more commercial breaks.
Gear up to win with Buzzy Racing. With over 40 years of experience in motorsports and countless victories, Buzzy Racing provides teams with superior drivetrain sales and service. Whether you need assistance with transmissions, gears, axles, brakes, steering, drive shafts, or differentials, we have you covered. Family owned and operated, Buzzy Racing is dedicated to our customers on track success. What are you waiting for? Visit us at buzzyracing.com to learn more.
Established in 1983, FK Rod Ends has been the industry leader for both midget and micro racing. Family owned and operated, we take pride in our products and our name because we know you value yours. Visit our website, www.fkrodends.com, to find out how you can join our winning team. FK Rod Ends. To beat the best, you've got to use the best.
From our centrally located office in Dixon, Iowa, we can coordinate your services with speed and precision. Our on-time and safety records are remarkable and illustrate why Hoker Trucking is regarded as one of the area's finest. Hoker Trucking LLC can give you a competitive advantage. Ensure that your freight is there on time, every time. On the racetrack or on the road, we deliver.
One of the greatest feelings is Saturday night and we're doing driver intros and people are going nuts and you don't know if you're at a Kid Rock concert or if you're at a race and there's lasers and there's fire. As a person that works in the industry, I'm still a big race fan. My heart gets pounding. I mean, by that time of the year, we're all tired. It's been a long racing season. We know we get a few weeks off before we start again in January. That always energizes me, just that feel of it. And again, it's something, if you're not there, you just can't describe how special it is.
Last year, Jason Welshon his Scott Who last year nearly brought down the entire house. And I like that because it was so, he got it, Jason got it, like he figured out how to play this. So I would like to think I could come up with something creative enough. I might do the height and weight introduction. At 6'2", 190, Michael Rigsby. I might be like 195 now.
I've texted some ideas to Rigsby and thought of some different things that maybe we can do to do some fan interaction or create some more buzz. So I got some ideas that I've thought about, but I'll probably start working on that driver intro deal here soon.
Cody talks to me sometimes about some ideas, and a lot of them are pretty far-fetched, but you never know. Some of these things could happen. You know, you had the one guy walk out with the Scott Who rag. You know, I rode out on that little mini bike and that was fun. You got guys doing LeBron impressions and all sorts of stuff like that. So it's pretty cool to add that aspect. You know, we kind of feel like star football players or something, walking out and seeing that crowd and being able to kind of do whatever we want to do for those split seconds. It's fun. It's pretty fun.
One of my favorite things about Dirt in December has to be the driver intros. From the crotch chop to Rico on top of Scott Bloomquist to Shannon Babb literally putting his nuts in a wheelbarrow. There's just something that you'll never see in any other racing event throughout the entire country. And the guy that made it all possible is the creator of the Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals presented by the O'Reilly Auto Parts. Maybe we'll do the Collinsworth slide as Cody Summers enters the building. And Cody, I mentioned at the top of the show, 710 days since the last checker flag hit in 2019. What the heck have you been doing the last 2 years to get prepared for this weekend?
I've been racing.
True
a lot. Obviously not doing the dome, unfortunate, you know. You don't realize how much you love something until it's gone. But so you take a year off and you do a lot of reflecting and you just realize how much you love the dome. And but definitely have been busy regardless, doesn't matter, but still love the sport and love to be a part of it in every aspect, and that's what I've been doing.
Be honest with me, when we lost the event last year due to COVID, did you think this race would lose some steam?
In a way, yes, but in a way, no, because I'm telling you, I've been to all the major events in our sport, and you know, people with passion, they really show it. And I've been, whether it's the World 100 or you go to the Dream or you go to the Show Me or you go anywhere, I always see Gateway shirts everywhere. So that's kind of me knowing that this is a staple and it's something that people have really adapted to and become passionate about. So I knew that it was going to return strong, but you know the deal. I mean, we're always going to keep it spicy and do something new and different and exciting. So here we are, we're back.
Hell yeah, we are back. And of course, it's been a 1-year hiatus. How has the track process been? We're up here on the perch. I'm turning around. The place looks magnificent as always. How's that process been the last 2 weeks? Smooth sailing?
Yeah, it's actually kind of weird because it's seemed even calmer than ever before. And I thought that having a year off, you'd kind of stumble or stutter or whatever. And it's been so smooth that it's almost scary.
It's like, why? Why is it so smooth? But I think a lot of that goes to the fact that we have I'd say 90% of the same people involved, and 90% of the same vendors, and just it takes a lot to make this happen, So when you have people that have experience and know what they're doing, it's like riding a bike.
What are some changes for the 2021 edition of the Gateway Dirt Nationals? For the people at home, they've had different scenarios in the past. We've had different formats. What is it going to be like this year?
I'd say, one of the notable changes is on Thursday we actually run late models, so we went.
Well, that's good. I'm a late model guy.
Yeah, absolute. And I think that's the way it should be. We had a lot of racing on Friday in the past, and it was kind of crammed in there and forced, and so now we split it up. And the other thing I enjoy about that is that those drivers that race on Thursday, they get to have fun on Friday, and the same thing vice versa. It gives them an opportunity to be a fan again, and that's what I love about this event. I think that it is racer friendly, fan friendly. So that's a notable change, that we have half the late model teams on Thursday and half on Friday now. Otherwise we got the 3 divisions still, but we're giving away a NASCAR ride too, so that's a new thing.
How'd that come about? Talk about that a little bit. That kind of took me by surprise. I didn't even know that was happening until about 30 minutes when the show started.
Yeah, it's come together fairly last minute, but it just says a lot about. So for those that don't know, we're giving away a NASCAR ride for the Super Late Model winner, where they can run a NASCAR Camper World truck at Knoxville next year. So, I mean, you put a dollar amount on that, it's actually it takes the grand prize pretty high, really. And there's a lot of people out here that could win that, look at our previous winners, okay? You got Scott Bloomquist, Bobby Pierce, Tyler Carpenter. It's like, obviously Bobby's been in the truck series more recently than Scott has, but Tyler Carpenter's never been in it, right? So you could see a guy that's never ever thought that he'd have that opportunity, have a great opportunity like that. So I think that's a really cool thing, and it come about because I'm making some career moves and changes in the future, and I'm getting involved with Nice, and they're hardcore racers, man. That's what they are. Al Nice and Cody Efaw, and we're going to do some really cool things with Nice Motorsports and in the NASCAR Camper World Truck Series moving forward. So I'm excited about what the future is. It's kind of different. I didn't know that that's what my future held, but it seems right.
Driver intros. We showed a little video piece before you came on the air. That is your baby. Can you give the fans maybe a little something at home? What some ideas you're going to give some drivers, or how that even come about? Because it's so fun to watch every single year.
I love driver intros.
I know you do.
I'm intense on it. I think people hate me on the radio after because I'm just like QQ and I get into it, right? You know what I'm pumped about is the fact that the Dome called me, I think it was yesterday, and they're like, so we've never done this, and the fire marshals are asking questions and this and that, and I'm just like, I'm giddy inside because I'm like, this is going to be awesome. So, yeah, it's going to be a little different. It's going to be a lot of what we've had in the past, but I did want to turn it up a notch, and hopefully everybody enjoys it. I mean, that's what this is all about, is entertaining and being inside of a building and doing things that you never thought you could do. So I'm looking forward to Saturday for sure, driver intros.
2019, the racing was showcased, the best pound for pound in all divisions of racing. Does that put pressure on you and Kevin, or do you guys say, you know what, screw that, we got this thing dialed in, we know what we're doing a little bit?
I don't think it's a pressure thing. I mean, honestly, it's been great. The track build's been great. Kevin and I have been great. Everybody, the team's been great. We've not made really nominal changes, right, to the surface and the dimension and the layout. So I think people can expect the same, but I truly believe it's not going to be as rough as people think. And we've just changed a few of the ways we do things, how we're bringing in the dirt, how we're rolling it. And if it is smoother, I think people can expect this surface that we'll have this weekend for the duration.
You mentioned the truck ride if you win it. Me and Shane and Babb talked about it when I took a tour of his race shop. He said it's the last great equalizer in our sport. You can have old, banged up body. You don't have to have the fastest motor. To see a guy, like a regional guy like Tyler Carpenter, to win that, how special is that? I feel like you get more pumped up when a guy like that wins it.
Well, it's really cool because, I mean, I saw tears down there. You don't see that emotion much anymore in anything, really. So when you can get people that get emotional, man, that's cool. And that's just something I'm proud of. And, you know, I was just actually, right before coming up here, I saw Babb and Scott. They're out there grooving tires and getting some things, whatever. And you can just tell the energy's different. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Are you going to give us any special announcements for the future? I mean, all these crazy things throughout the entire industry, you got announcements galore. Are you going to give us a little teaser maybe, or are we going to wait until Saturday?
Oh, no, we'll just make everybody wait and just see what happens. But I'll tell you what, it's going to be a show.
You can watch every lap at FloRacing. But by the way, Cody, me and you had a $1,000 bet to get a basketball hoop during, you know, maybe an intermission, maybe played a 5. If we played a 10, it would take too long. Are we going to be able to get Michael Rigsby to get a hoop down there for us on Saturday during intermission?
I think Rigsby's so big time now that he's probably forgot about this thing that happened. But, yeah, there was a bet. If he actually does make it happen, I'll do it. But he's got to put the hoop together, and we'll go down there and we'll ball, and we're gonna make it happen. And I'm confident. I'm confident.
Well, the last time we played, it was in Mansfield, Ohio, a few years back. We had a great time. I think it was like 3 in the morning. So we're a little more trained, a little more professional. But Cody, I wish all the good luck for you this weekend. I cannot wait. And thanks for joining the show.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate everybody. Look forward to this weekend, and appreciate all you do.
Time another set of commercial breaks. So we'll be right back.
Hi, my name is Joe Constance with Joe's Racing Products. My company has been producing high-quality racing components in the USA for over 30 years. We know the commitment and determination it takes to win races because we race too. We're determined to produce quality products that can help you get to the finish line first. Ask your dealer for Joe's Racing Products or visit us online at joesracing.com.
How do you want your legend to be remembered? You're more than your victories. You're more than your losses. You're the hard work, the sacrifice. You're the fire that burns within. What will you do to become legendary?
Right from the start began with my grandfather in 1928. He believed if you didn't do things right the first time, you wouldn't have that job to do much after that. And that's what we believe at Baum Chevrolet Buick to this day. Whether it's listening to your transportation needs or your repair needs, we want to ease your mind and do it thoroughly, correctly the first time so we can see you again. Baum Chevrolet Buick, right from the start.
I think with anyone, if you're having a lot of success, you know, in what you do, there's always going to be people that kind of, you know, get a microscope and, you know, are paying more attention to you. I think that's my case a lot, you know, not saying I'm always running up front, but a lot of times I think I am, and that's when things seem to happen, you know, the camera's on me and bam.
Somebody's going to have to go ASAP right now if you're going to catch the leader, and they both go around!
All y'all never raced a late model before. I gotta love it.
50th World 100 is underway. Corner number 4, a dead heat at the stripe. We've got
sometimes people forget, like even if you're running up front, like, oh, you know, they can't do no wrong. Like Jonathan Davenport, he doesn't make any mistakes. Kyle Larson, he doesn't make any mistakes. Well, we do.
Other than Scott Bloomquist, I don't think there's one driver that's more polarizing than Bobby Pierce.
I don't really know what to say, but I felt it built up and you let it out, but I don't know. Probably the older I get, the more I, you know, bite my tongue.
Down the back straightaway. He's won 14 times this year. Let's chalk it up to number 15 out of Oakwood, Illinois. Bobby Pierce wins the VP Racing Fuels Gateway Dirt Nationals.
In your words, what happened out there on the racetrack?
Just the way his head works, I knew what was coming. He turns it into demo derby, and maybe if he owned all that stuff, he'd be more appreciative of it like I am. But
I think every car that battled for the lead hit me. I don't know what to say. Just it is what it is. It's hardcore racing. That's what I say all the time. So that's what it is. So.
Winger slips up, down the back straightaway. Pierce blocks him. Winger's there. He'll drive down to the inside. Down the front straightaway, Bobby Pierce with a super showcase.
Ain't nobody can say shit about me. That's all I gotta say.
Over the last 2 months, I've been traveling all over the country, getting these interviews for Conquering Gateway. It's been so much fun to do. I think you guys will all be very happy how they turn out. I know one guy that's happy down there is track guru Kevin Gundaker, who him and his race staff have been working tirelessly for the last couple of weeks, getting this track dialed in, and I think he's with Trenton and Chet down there below.
He is. We have Kevin Gundaker down here. And Kevin, this is something we heard Cody allude to this earlier on, but did it go a little easier this year?
It sure did. Mother Nature was really fair to us and brought us in some really nice dirt, so we were able to work it completely different.
Kevin, you always make a few changes to the racetrack, subtle changes. You kind of have to work within the box you're given here, but what might the racers expect and what might they find out the first time they pull onto the Speedway here this year for this version of the Speedway?
Well, if you notice the entrance to turns 1 and turns 3, they've got a little bit more lip to be able to carry. Same way coming off 4 and coming off 2, we've got to carry. They'll be able to carry a little more speed, we think, not be so much of a circle.
And I guess a follow-up question is this, is whenever you started down here, they asked you to come into the dome and create an inside dirt track for late models. What were your first thoughts?
It was really cool when we got the phone call about doing this, and then the Monday we showed up when they opened the door, we were like, oh my God, what we get into? But yeah, it's been great. It's been great with the people we work with. We've assembled a great team, I think, between Cody and Jacob, myself, and all the people surrounding us. That's what made all this work.
Kevin, did you ever think that you'd kind of become a dirt guru back all those years you were racing and winning all over the country? To think that now, your boys are racing and they're doing so well, but you've really kind of taken the lead around the Midwest on dirt work. You have a ton of equipment over at your racetrack at Tri-City, and a lot of people really look to you for your knowledge and your experience to get these racetracks ready to go.
A lot of people don't realize, I really get into this, but I got a guy behind me, Bob Linneman and Derek Baugh. They come over there and they work their hearts out for me. And they make me look good. So to say I'm a mindset on that, no. Without these guys, we wouldn't be where we're at today.
And final question for you here. I've never seen you more fired up than that Friday night of 2016 when Bab topped Bloomquist, and you guys showed that you could put a race on. And you've had a few of those other moments here, but how special is it for you personally when they just roll a barn burner feature right off the racetrack? And you played a pretty big role in making that happen.
Well, the first year we came in here and the way it turned out, I was like a little kid at Christmas. We had goosebumps. Cody and I sat up in the dirt in turn 3 there and in that cushion, and we just reflected on what just happened, and it was like, wow. It was just unreal to be able to pull that off.
Racing's really special to this city, and you're a big part of it. Congratulations on all your success and another Gateway Dirt Nationals here.
Well, thank you very much. And like I said, it's more of a passion to me than a business, and has been since 1973 when I first started, and now my boys, and now here in the racetrack. So, yeah, it's another day for me.
All right, man, it's going to be a hard week for you, but Kevin Gundaker there talking about it. That's a labor of love down here trackside. Derek Kessinger, we'll send it right back up to you.
All I got to say is Kevin Gundaker is the man. I got to know him personally through the Summer Nationals when his son Trevor and Gordy Gundaker were behind the wheel through that month-long odyssey. Another guy I met on the Summer Nationals, he's racing all 3 divisions here tonight, and he's down with Ben Shell and Dustin Jarrett, or should I say Troy Aikman and Joe Buck.
Well, I'm going to be Troy Aikman because I always want to be a Super Bowl champion. So you'll be Joe Buck, Dustin Jarrett. We're here with Nick Hoffman. Nick, 39 wins on the year. And can you think of any better way to cap it off than going after 3 wins in 1 week? Well, you could go after a lot of wins, actually, but to win 3 different divisions here, is that something you can even wrap your head around?
Yeah, I got a really good opportunity with all 3 divisions. So I know I got the equipment to do it. It's just I got to, make it happen pretty much. And just can't have no, issues. And I've kind of screwed this deal up many times myself. So just got to try and stay out of that inside wall and try and put together all the laps.
Talk to me about the midgets. You've really run it out several times, not several times, but a handful of times over the past few months down at Millbridge. What is the biggest adjustment getting in that midget versus the mod or the late model?
It's just totally different than what I grew up racing and what I race now. It's just everything you do in that, you kind of drive with the gas pedal and wheel spin. So definitely tough for me to get accustomed to them. And jumping from one car to the next is going to be tough for sure. But I've been getting pretty comfortable in that midget. I feel like we got a really good hot rod. Rams Racing prepares us a really good car. And yeah, I'm really excited to bring it here and then go to Chili Bowl in a couple weeks.
You've talked about this before, but for the folks that are watching at home, this is like a homecoming for you. You call Mooresville home now. You're originally from St. Louis. Talk about what it means to not just be able to race here, because you race in this area a lot, but an event of this magnitude with so many eyes on it. What's it mean to you being a St. Louis area guy?
Yeah, it's just super cool, and I don't care what this race pays. I just want that trophy at the end of the day. So I said it before, I'd trade almost every win I got this year just to get this trophy this weekend. So I got 3 shots at it. I gave myself as many opportunities as possible, and let's see what we got. I'm super pumped up to be here. I've seen this deal from start to finish. Cody's one of my good friends, obviously. Got me that opportunity with Scott to work with Scott, and he's one of my best friends. So I'm just pumped up for this opportunity and trying to make the most of it.
Talk to me about the Nice Motorsports opportunity to not only win $30,000 on Saturday night, but to get a truck ride for Knoxville. Can you put in perspective for a driver who's come from the grassroots, worked his way up, what would that mean to you and your program?
Yeah, it's huge. I'm fortunate enough to have ran some truck races and got to run the Eldora truck race, and it's just a totally different type of racing. I feel like any of these guys in this pit area are good enough to go do it and compete, especially in a really good truck like Nice has got. So, yeah, that's a huge opportunity for anybody. I mean, if you had Tyler Carpenter out there in Knoxville in a truck, that'd be pretty badass. So, yeah, we'll do our best, and that's just a really cool opportunity for somebody at the end of the day.
Before Dustin asks his final question, I want to ask you, you may or may not have snuck into the rafters here to get a scouting report on the racetrack. And you said that Kevin Gundaker told you it was the same, but I don't know if you want to reveal it or not because this might be your setup techniques. You see something a little bit different out of the track this year.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a little different every year, I feel like, and it's raced different every year. So the dirt is in probably the best condition, I think, that they've had it in the last 5 times. So I feel like it's going to race really well. It's just 1 and 2 seems a little bit, the inside is a little tighter, and then 3 and 4 around the bottoms is kind of more sweeping, it seems like. The barriers are a little bit further out in 3 and 4 as far as directionally that way. So I think it's going to be tougher to get around the bottom down there. And then down here, it kind of seems like the bottom will be tighter and probably easier to make that corner. So if you're going to slide somebody, you'd probably do it in turns 1 versus turns 3. But yeah, either way, it's going to put on a hell of a show, and all these fans will love it.
I got to admit, Ben actually stole my last question, so I had to call an audible here. So I'm going to actually circle back to where we started. Have you thought about yet how you'll mentally prepare to run not 1, not 2, but 3 classes here? Because I know what it's like on our side of things. I got to feel like you're just going to be constantly on the go. Have you got yourself mentally ready to run all 3 divisions?
Yeah, I think so. I've kind of taken all the steps to make sure I'm going to do it the best I can, or the best possible job I can do. So, yeah, the biggest thing is being split up on the prelim nights where I ain't got to run the late model and the modified and the midget all in one night. So I'll run the modified tomorrow and the midget, and then the midget and the late model on Friday. So it kind of gives you a little bit more time, but come Saturday, it'll be a busy day to run all 3, and yeah, I'm just super pumped up to be here, and my modified is obviously really good. I can't really screw it up. The late model's been good every time I've ran it, and then that midget's, it's always good. It's just, it's better than I am, really.
I think he's got a better chance than you and I would ever have, Ben.
Yeah, he's got a better chance. We're definitely not going to win the Super Bowl, so if somebody's going to win something in this building, it's going to have to be Nick Hoffman, one of these other great racers. Well, I tell you what, 39 wins on the year. He'll try to get north of 40 this weekend, may even get a truck ride out of it. You never know. But I do know one thing. We're going to head off to the final commercial break of the night. When we come back, we're going to talk about some of our picks this weekend, some things to look for, and all kinds of cool stuff as we get set to kick off the 5th annual Castrol Gateway Dirt Nationals presented by O'Reilly Auto Parts here at the Dome at America's Center.
Where valve train technology and racing passion meet.
At O'Reilly Auto Parts, we know how important it is for your car to look sharp and run well. And we're here to make that as simple as possible. Get all the parts, accessories, and tools you'll need for your next project delivered right to your doorstep. Just place your order online and leave the rest to us. You'll have everything you need at your door the next day, and shipping won't cost you a penny.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Well, it was just one of them emotional wins, man. You know, it's one of them deals that you only dream to do something like that, to accomplish something so good. You know, we're just a little team, and it was just an awesome deal to go there and perform like we did. That's just one of them tracks an average racer could be really good. You know, you could shine just because it's kind of like a hole in the ground, but it's the biggest, baddest, funnest hole in the ground you could ever be on. But, you know, it took a long time for it to sink in, but it has. You know, I just look back at that, and I don't know if I'll ever do anything that big again in my life, but, you know, I did that one thing, and that's just enough for me.
And Shepard has a run off 3 and 4. The winner of the Gateway Dirt Nationals is going to be Tyler Carpenter.
Carpenter by a nose. That was beyond the war, man. Adrian, we did it.
It's great to have the support, like I say. You know, fans are the best thing a racer could have, you know, because there's times when you're down in the dumps and running crap and you got a fan come over and you just get to cherish the moments with them, you know, shake their hand, talk about the good times you had and what you do and how you excite them, and it's just awesome to be able to have fans, you know. There's some drivers just kind of stuck up and do their own thing, and what they don't realize, their fans could be their best friends and really make them have something to look forward to. I'm not done. I'm gonna keep digging, try to get better and better each time we get out, but you know, it's just I got to shine in front of a huge crowd, man. It just made you feel like a single-handed superstar. The Dome is one of the races, you know, some people, the bigger teams got a lot of money in their stuff. They kind of complain about it, oh, it's rough and stuff, this and that, but it gives a little guy a chance to shine and feel like you could be amongst that crowd, and it gives you a purpose to keep on digging and make you think that, hey, we ain't just peaked out, we can keep going, and that's what I say, just one of them cool moments in racing, and I ain't done yet. We're just gonna keep going and try to get better every time we're out. But it's definitely tough, and just can't lose track of who we are and where we started, and just gotta keep going and, you know, just get better and better.
Climbing out of the car, make some noise for Tyler Carpenter.
The defending champ will be in the house here. Tyler Carpenter is looking to become the second driver to win this race back-to-back. And last year, or 2019, that was a phenomenal moment. He was going bonkers in victory lane. The whole place was on their feet. And guys down there, since I'm hosting the show, we got to do a little portion of Suave's Lock of the Week. And we're going to do late models because I'm a late model guy, the modifieds and midgets. I'm not very smart at that. But then again, I haven't been very good in locks of the weeks in the past. So I'm going to go first. And I think the super team of Schatz and Shepard got runner-up in 2019. They're going to come out with some vengeance. And I think Brandon Shepard, as James Essex will say, will win the $30,000. We'll see him win a truck race. Not win it, but drive a truck race. We'll see him win the Knoxville Nationals in the same year in 2022. So I'm going to go with Brandon Shepard. What do you guys think? That's not a bad pick, I don't think.
Well, I tell you what, Derek's really going out on a limb there, picking Brandon Shepard, the guy who was second by a nose piece here just a couple years ago. So I don't know, Ben, Trent, when do you guys want to start it off? I'm still weighing my options over here.
No, let me tell you what Dustin's doing. Dustin doesn't know who to pick, so he's thinking longer about it. Trent, we're going to put you on the hot seat.
Incorrect.
Who do you think is going to win $30,000 and a Knoxville truck ride come Saturday night?
Well, this is basically just because I want to see him run that truck at Knoxville. I'm going to go with the 18 of Shannon Babb. Babb's my pick to win this one right here. So, you know what? I'm not going very far out on the limb, so I'll join D. Suave, pretty close to the tree trunk right there.
Oh my, to the tree trunk. Well, let's go to Chet Christner.
We should give
Let's
Chet
see what Chet
Christner a
thinks.
pick. Chet, not a late model guy by trade, but a dirt guy as a whole. You've looked over the entry list. You've got a few things prepared for your pit notes and everything. Who's standing out to you? Who you think's going to be standing in victory lane in the late models here on Saturday night?
And see, that's a deal where I hate picking a winner on this. And I will tell you this, the beautiful thing about this racetrack is it's a great equalizer. It's not aero dependent. You don't have to have the horsepower to run this. You just have to have the nerve, and you have to have a little bit of luck come your way. And so look at Tyler Carpenter. That would have had to been 101 odds on him winning there. So it could be anybody's game. I personally am going to go for Nick Hoffman, and I'll tell you why. I want to see him do the triple. I want to see the triple coming out of Nick Hoffman. I want to see him win across the board, make history, and that would be a glorious thing to watch.
Be like Kyle Larson the Saturday at Four Crown about 10 years ago at Eldora Speedway. Benji, what do you think?
Well, I think those are good picks. And we talk about the Carpenter family. We're going to have one, not two, three of them in the house this year, as Chris Carpenter is going to make his debut here at the Dome in car number 18. I would personally, from a very entertaining standpoint, love to see Tyler Carpenter win, to see NASCAR media get a taste of Tyler Carpenter. I think that it could do just a lot of great things for the sport. As we've seen this year, there's been a lot of crossover between pavement and dirt. I'd love to see that, but man, as you look at it, I think the guy coming in with momentum in his corner, it's hard to go against Bobby Pierce. I think Bobby becomes a three-time event champion.
That's a real good pick. I think there's a few other guys out there as well. I mean, Jonathan Davenport hasn't been mentioned. I'll tell you one guy that has run really well here the last few years that's going to be my pick. I think he's really got a knack for this place, for little racetracks. He actually practiced at Wayne County, Illinois a few weeks ago. I'm going to go with Tanner English. I think Tanner English has been really close here a few times. He's had cars that have been capable of winning. He's been knocked out of contention before as well. I think this is the year that Tanner English and that Riggs Motorsports team, the number 81, finds victory lane.
Well, I think that's a great pick. There's a lot of great cars in the pit area, and we don't know who could be the next Tyler Carpenter, somebody not on the radar. Trenton, I'm going to, final thing with you, like all of us, you're a huge racing fan. Going back to Tyler Carpenter winning this event, have you experienced many more exciting things on such a massive stage as that event 2 years ago?
Never in dirt track racing, you know, and what Tyler Carpenter did was phenomenal. You know, we kind of came in and, you know, Rigsby told us the first time he rolled in, you know, he was up in the late model live set. You know, he's kind of priming everybody, saying, hey, this kid's got a shot, you know, and boy, he came out there the following year and showed that. And, you know, he was on point all weekend. He gave the best interviews. You know, there's B-roll for years and years and years out of this. So, you know, for somebody that chews up all that content, he was gold there. Would be awesome for NASCAR too. So no, I've not. That was wild here to watch that 2 years ago. And that, you know, things like that are why the Dome rocks, right?
Well, there's a lot of things to watch this weekend. The mods, the midgets. It's been entertaining watching all the late model and mod guys practicing on go-kart tracks this weekend. I saw Tanner Collins down at Talladega Short Track. Dean Hoffman, he was on a, dare I say, in a farm field testing on a racetrack. But so many different things are going to happen. Derek, tomorrow it all starts, my friend, and we hope that everybody watching can join us. But if not, they keep up with it at FloRacing. Back up top to you.
I am like a kid in a candy store. And oh, by the way, your picks, Lee Corso would always say, not so fast, my friend. Close, but no cigar. It is go time here in St. Louis. Throw up that graphic. We are live at FloRacing every single lap. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, late models, modifieds, midgets, late models going for 30 large, modified and midgets going for 10 grand each. It's going to be a fun and exciting weekend. We cannot wait. If you can't be here, you can watch every lap at FloRacing. From everyone here in St. Louis, I'm Derek Kessinger. We will see you here tomorrow night. Have a great night. We will see you here, like I said just 2 seconds ago, tomorrow night.